Okay, so in today's session, we are going to talk about something called as looping statements. What is the topic we're going to discuss today? We are going to discuss something called as looping statements here. Okay, so what are looping statements? Okay, looping statements are nothing but whenever I want to repeat a set of instructions, whenever there is a repetition involved or redundancy involved, we always make use of looping statements. Okay, so the first thing, why do we come across looping statement is for in order to repeat. Okay, if I have to repeat some set of instructions here, I will always come across looping statements. Okay, secondly, and I also used for traversing purpose as well. And what is the second reason why I make use of looping statements? For traversing purpose. What is traversing, sir? See, there are a group of data. Imagine there are a group of data. I want to fetch one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. I need to fetch them. Okay, that is called as traversing the data. Okay, so trying to fetch the data one by one, one by one, one by one. In those particular scenarios, we always come across something called as looping statements here. Okay, so what is the job of looping statements, guys? Looping statements are, with the help of looping statements, we can repeat, or whenever there is redundancy involved, we always make use of looping statement. Loop means repeat. Okay, traversing purpose meaning there is a hell lot of data here. I need to traverse them one by one, one by one, one by one. For that particular scenario, I make use of looping statements again here. Clear? Now, what are the different looping statements we have in Java, sir? In Java, we have something called as for loop. Okay. Second, we have something called as while loop. Third, we have something called as do while loop. And fourth, we have something called as nested loops. Okay, nested for loop. Okay, we can have nested while loop also, but yeah, these are the three important. Okay, and nested for loop is one such. But out of this four, who has a lot of importance? For loop. So if you know for loop here, it becomes very, very easy working around with the data here. So it becomes what? It becomes very, very easy in order to work with the data here. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to understand. Okay, loop means repeating, okay, or traversing. So these are the two scenarios we generally come across looping statements. And what are the different loops we have? For loop, while loop, do while loop, and nested for loop. So these are the different looping statements that is supported by Java here. Okay.